Yo, the name's Iniquity, you heard? I wasn't always motivated, my vision was a blur. I had no music to help me meditate, it felt like suffocating, I was the definition of the word. I've never been depressed, but sadness did occur. Then something happened and there's nothing else I'd rather or prefer. When shit just stirred, it was absurd, it just got worse. And I felt cursed, I flipped the bird without a word, I wasn't heard. I was working overtime, you see. This motherfucker came in that had plans of robbing me. Put an assault rifle to my head and told me not to move till he was done taking what he wanted. I wouldn't lie, it's true. I thought nothing scared me till that very night. Was helpless and thought it was over without putting up a fight. Tied in duct tape, staring at a gun and fearing for my life. What's this world become? Looking up and asking why? Why me is what I thought that night. Why me? I was taught better than these guys. I plead better times and glad that I'm alive. And amongst all this pain, I think we should just breathe and try to fly free through this world and just appreciate. Remind me not to hurl, not to feel all the hate. Learn from my mistakes, I've taken a new way. There's always time you can remake, just remember it's a new day.
What's going on, guys? This is Sunday Ramen Commentary, and I hope you really paid attention to the lyrics in that verse. This is really the first time I've mentioned that experience since it happened. I remember just feeling lost for a while, and I was constantly thinking about it. Like, what if things happened differently? I never thought I would have a gun barrel pressed up against my head with my life being threatened. I remember getting home that night after talking to the police, and I opened my parents' bedroom door and told them what happened as calmly as I could, just to let them know I was okay. And after that I went to my bed, and I stared at the ceiling for like 8 hours just thinking. The situation was over, so all I could do was move on, but I just felt so confused. 2 weeks later I was in a car accident. A drunk driver hit me from behind, and the car I was in flew into a pole. Fortunately, I left both of those incidents uninjured. Confused, but not physically hurt at all. And as upset as I was, I felt like I had this epiphany that life is good, and sometimes shit just happens. Do you remember that question I asked you guys to answer 2 weeks ago? What have you taken for granted? Well, I took my life for granted. The people around me who I loved. My family, friends, girlfriends. I'm not saying I didn't care for them, but I never looked at them the same until that night, because I felt lucky to still have my life and having them be a part of it. And no one's perfect. I still think every now and then we get too comfortable with our lives and make mistakes that aren't intentional. I know I've hurt people in my life for not giving them the love they deserve, and I've been hurt by others, but people can change, and I truly believe that. I may not be some thug from the hood rapping about my gang life and drug selling experiences, but I may just be someone who's had experience with certain aspects of life that I believe I can help you with. And I'm grateful that I have you as part of my audience. I started to really work on my music around that time I mentioned, and that's why I said I wouldn't prefer anything else. Because as crazy as those events were, I'm happy now. I'm driven. And while I'm sure I'll make more mistakes in the future, I know I can learn from them and use it to make me a stronger person. So if you're watching this and I've wronged you in the past or hurt you, I'm deeply sorry. I'll never take my life for granted again. And I promise to pursue everything that keeps me happy. But how about we take a look at some of the answers you guys provided 2 weeks ago. So YT Berserk had 2 likes, and he mentions taking his grandmother for granted. I'm sorry for your loss, man. Losing the people we love is always extremely hard to deal with, and I hope you're okay. Huffman has 3 likes, and he talks about taking his ex-girlfriend for granted. I've been there, man, and I'm sure a lot of us have actually. But if she's certain that she's done giving you more chances, all you can do is move on, and use this experience as a way to become a better guy for your next girl. So, Epic Sharpshooter had 4 likes on his comment, and his was similar to my idea. He says he took himself for granted, and that we should enjoy our lives because we never know when they could be over. Thanks for the comment, man, and I agree with you. Do what you love, and don't let anybody tell you different. Next is Mr. Failblog, who had 27 likes on his comment. He says he took his parents for granted. He acted foolish and thought he was on top of the world. Then his father passed, and it changed his life. And now he's become a better person. I'm sorry about your dad, man. But I'm sure he's looking down on you now, and he's proud of what you've become. The final comment is from a fellow Youch director and a good friend of mine. His name is Jay Nuck, and this guy can spit some rhymes. He mentions having 3 kids and taking the first 2 for granted, but it made him a great father towards the 3rd. And now he's trying to right his wrongs from the past. I respect that, bro. That can't be easy. Thank you for commenting, and that goes for all of you as well. I'm proud of where my life is right now, and I wasn't always able to say that. Nothing's perfect, but all I can really tell all of you is to just keep your head up. Charge for what you want, and believe good things will happen. And that does it for tonight, but I wanted to ask you guys a favor before I leave. Some of you are already aware of this, but I entered a rap contest about a week ago, and there's still another week of voting before the winners are chosen. So, I was wondering if you guys could head over to the website and vote for me. It takes 2 seconds, and I'd greatly appreciate it. And you can vote once every 24 hours if you really want to help me out. The link will be in the description, and thank you in advance to anyone that votes for me. Take a look at what you have right now, everyone, and just try to appreciate it more. Thank you for listening. Peace.